Welcome to the Contenders. I'm your host, Peg-eun Young. They say that women are very important to marketers these days because women have much of the power in making decisions for purchase. Apparently, 83% of the decisions for consumer goods is made by women, and 60% of the decisions for purchasing cars is made by women as well. Perhaps the woman of the household chose this channel for the Contenders. Well, you do know that Contenders is fun for both men and women. Let's welcome today's Contenders onto our stage. Welcome to our stage. We have the Prism team, Daniel Burnell and Hae-won Kwak. So, Prism, you have a very important meaning with Prism, don't you?
Oh, we think so. Prism is something magical and mysterious, and we try to bring that into our everyday life to turn the commonplace into something special.
Well, I hope that joining us today will be a very special memory for both of you. Welcome to our team. And also welcoming you onto our stage, we have the Etaoin team, Kalyan, Pala, and Ajith, Kumar. And Etaoin, I hear, is a combination of letters.
That's right. Etaoin, actually, initially when we named our team, we just wanted to have a different name with a bit of a trivia. But Etaoin actually stands for E is the most frequently used letter in English language. T is the next most commonly used. O is next. It goes on like that. Etaoin is that is the significance of the team name.
So all of us interested in trivia should remember Etaoin. Welcome to our stage, and good luck to all of you. Let's begin our quiz. And now in the first section, we give you 10 multiple choice questions worth 10 points each. You're given 5 seconds per question. You can use chance once, call out chance, and we will take away 2 of the incorrect choices. And Prism, you get to choose first. Q, U, I, or Z sets of questions?
We'll take Q.
All right, we will go with Q. Number 1. Of the following, which is something you cannot ride at Seoul Station? 1. Train. 2. Airplane. 3. Rapid transit railway. And 4. Subway.
Number 2, airplane.
Moving on to 2. Of the following, which fits into the blank in honesty is the blank? 1. Virtue of fools. 2. Best policy. 3. Last chance. 4. Final choice.
Number 2, best policy.
But looking at the news these days, sometimes you feel like it is the virtue of fools. So rare. But we go to question 3. Of the following, which president did not win a Nobel Peace Prize? 1. Jimmy Carter. 2. Nelson Mandela. 3. Bill Clinton. And 4. Kim Dae-jung.
Answer is number 3.
And we're moving right along to question 4. Of the following, Shinto is a religion native to which country? 1. China. 2. Mongolia. 3. Japan. 4. Korea.
Number 3.
And I know that you know Japan very well, right?
It's her major, yeah.
Yeah, my major is Japanese.
And so you must be very good with languages since you're here on our English show and you speak Japanese fluently as well. Do you want to say hello to our Japanese viewers?
In Japanese, konnichiwa.
All right, konnichiwa from me as well. We'll move on to question number 5. Of the following, which most bats eat what? 1. Blood. 2. Insects. 3. Plants. 4. Fish.
Number 2, insects.
And moving right along to 6. Of the following, how long does it take sunlight to reach the Earth? 1. 8 seconds. 2. 8 minutes. 3. 8 hours. 4. 8 days.
Oh, tough one.
If you're not sure, you can use chance.
Let's take the chance.
All right, we'll make things easier for you. Take away 2 of the incorrect choices. And Prism, please make your final selection.
Number 2, 8 minutes.
Made that pretty easy for you. And we go to question 7. Of the following, which one of these countries borders all the other 3? 1, Indonesia. 2, Brunei. 3, Thailand. 4, Malaysia.
Okay, number 4, Malaysia.
Glad you went with your partner's answer.
Yes, me too.
And let's go to question 8. Of the following, All Quiet on the Western Front originated during which war? 1, World War II. 2, Civil War. 3, Vietnam War. 4, World War I.
Answer is number 4.
Question number 9. Of the following, which is the process of proving in court that a will is valid or invalid? 1, sequestration. 2, verdict. 3, probate. 4, stipulation.
Answer is number 4.
Actually, looking for probate as the correct answer. You end the section with 80 points. Etaoin, you have a choice of question sets U, I, and Z. Which would you like to have?
We'll go for Z.
Z.
All right, questions set Z, number 1. Of the following, what is the last day in February this year? 1, 31, 2, 30, 3, 29, 4, 28.
3, 29.
Number 3.
Question 2. Of the following, which instrument is played by clanging the 2 pieces together? 1, triangle. 2, cymbals. 3, drums. 4, harmonica.
Just a little bit. 2.
If you're not sure, you can use chance.
Number 2.
Number 2.
Etaoin, do you play any instruments?
No.
Just a little bit of guitar.
So cymbals weren't your thing. We go to question 3. Of the following, who is the first Prime Minister of independent India? 1, Mahatma Gandhi. 2, Indira Gandhi. 3, Morarji Desai. 4, Jawaharlal Nehru.
Yeah.
Number 4, Jawaharlal Nehru.
Question number 4. Of the following, Europeans called North and South America by what term? 1, New World. 2, El Dorado. 3, Utopia. 4, Land of Plenty.
Number 1, New World.
Question number 5. Of the following, which is an artificial satellite launched in 1957, which began the space race? 1, Sputnik. 2, Apollo 1. 3, Soyuz. 4, Voyager.
It's number 1, Sputnik.
I suppose your interest extends to all vessels. You are involved in creating ships and you're a mechanical engineer.
Yeah.
Are you interested in space as
Very
well?
much.
Yeah, right.
And we go to question 6. Of the following, a shark must swim continuously or it might blank. 1, float to the ocean surface. 2, become overweight. 3, sink to the bottom of the ocean. 4, fall asleep.
We'll take chance with this one.
All right, we'll make things easy for you. Take away 2 of the incorrect choices. And Etaoin, please make your final decision. What do you want to do?
Number 3, sink.
Question 7. Of the following, Rikki Tikki Tavi from the Jungle Books is which animal? 1. Mongoose. 2. Bear. 3. Chimpanzee. 4. Snake.
Number 1, mongoose.
And if you get this question correct, you will tie with your opponents, the Prism team. We move on to question 8. Of the following, the Amazon River begins in which country? 1. Brazil. 2. Bolivia. 3. Ecuador. 4. Peru. Etaoin.
Number 1, Brazil.
Actually, it begins in Peru, but you end with just 10 points behind. Prism, you end with the lead in this section, 80 points. Congratulations. You head into our next section, pretty close to each other. We will see how well you work together as a team. Prism, if you are ready, please take your position next to me. And we give you 20 words in a pre-chosen category. Well, your category was winds and currents.
Right.
And is there a reason why you chose this category?
No, it was what was left, basically.
But you were interested in it once you got going?
Yeah. We studied a little bit about it and learned some new things.
Are you ready?
I think so.
All right, prove your stuff. Go.
A, it's all around us.
Air.
W, in the Netherlands, they have these spinning around.
A windmill.
G, the title of a movie with Scarlett O'Hara and Rhett Butler during the American Civil War. G, blank, 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 the title of a movie. No, pass. P.
Pressure.
T, you don't like this.
Turbulence.
M, the study of weather. Pass. T, tornado.
Twister.
C, not a hurricane, not a
Cyclone.
typhoon. B, soft wind.
Breeze.
G, Florida. Water near Florida.
Gulf Stream.
T, Columbus. Columbus used
Trade
them.
winds.
T, twister.
Tornado.
J, airplanes can
Jet
use
stream.
this. M, wind in the Alps.
Mistral.
Pass. W, wind direction.
Westerlies.
S, cold area of Russia. Pass. 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 The baby in Spanish.
El Niño.
We spiced that up with a couple hard ones at the end. I'm sure, had you been given a little more time, you would have gotten to it. But Rhett Butler and Scarlett O'Hara in the movie, the long movie with the intermission in the beginning, in the middle, Gone with the Wind.
Oh, yeah. I was too nervous.
Well, you did a great job. You ended this section with 220 points. And Etaoin, it's your turn. And your category was action films. You have a favorite one?
Mission Impossible.
And are you ready?
Yeah.
Go.
Sylvester Stallone. R.
Rocky.
Next one.
Pass.
Vietnam. R. Okay, pass. Bloodsport, kickboxer,
Van
actor.
Damme.
Yeah. Full name.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
This is an action. S. It's a type of action. Pass. Die Hard. B.
Bruce Willis.
This is Tom Cruise movie.
Top Gun.
Akira Kurosawa.
Seven Samurai.
Okay, pass. W. Pass. Mel Gibson. B.
Braveheart.
Terminator. Hero.
Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Director of Mission Impossible. J.
Pass.
Pass. Bond.
Hero. Pierce Brosnan.
No. Number.
007.
Tomb Raider.
Lara Croft.
Keanu Reeves.
Speed.
Sci-fi.
Matrix.
Martial arts. First guy.
Bruce Lee.
Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. B. Girls opposite. Good opposite.
Bad Boys.
Yeah, this guy, Jonathan Livingston. What?
Star Wars.
You didn't quite get to Steven Seagal. And the director of your favorite action film was John Woo. You end the section with 160 points, and Prism, you maintain the lead, 220 points. Congratulations. And now let us welcome Mr. David Hwang.
What's up, Young? How are you?
Okay, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. You know, today on today's show, I really like the team names because you know the meaning behind Prism is I think so romantic, and the meaning behind Etaoin is so academic. So today on the Contenders, we have the passion of romance versus the power of intellect. Let's see who wins. No, you don't like that? Is that okay? Anyways, the rules for the next section. The first team to buzz in, it's a round of non-multiple choice questions, first of all. The first team to buzz in will get the first chance to answer. But if that team gets it wrong, that chance will be given over to the other team. Now, if you guys both get it wrong, don't worry too much because we're going to give you the help of a spelling hint for a second try. There's 15 questions in all, 30 points per question, and 5 seconds to answer each one. Any questions?
No.
No? All right.
So let's have number one.
All right. Number one is about name. Britons are still in love with this name. It remained the most popular for baby boys for the 9th year in succession, followed by Joshua, Thomas, James, and Daniel.
Prism.
John?
Etaoin, it is your chance to answer. He'll finish the question.
This is also used to address a man who is a stranger. What is this?
Etaoin, 5 seconds.
John Doe.
Etaoin,
John Doe.
Tom.
why don't we take a look at the hint? And I'll give you Etaoin.
Jack.
Yes. I was thinking that Michael would be one of the leading, but interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. Jack, of all names, I never would have thought that. Anyways, though.
And moving on to question number two.
Question number 2 is about beverage. China is the world's second largest market for this after the US, with a yearly consumption of
Etaoin.
Beer.
And with that, Etaoin, you are tied with Prism at 220 points. It's a very close game. Let's move on to our next question.
All right. Question number 3 is about culture. Last month, Kiharu Nakamura had died at the age of 90. Working in Tokyo, Miss Nakamura developed her career as this traditional Japanese female entertainer. This
Etaoin.
Geisha.
And Etaoin, you've got the lead. And let's move on to question number 4.
question number 4, there's plenty of game left, don't worry. Here we go. It's about title. U.S. actors Allison Hannigan and Luke Perry face the unenviable task of taking this romantic plot to the stage on London's Theatre Royal. It is one of the most successful film comedies of all time. What is the title of this
Prism.
film?
Oh, Christy. No.
Ooh. Etaoin, it is your chance to answer, and he'll finish the question.
What is the title of this film, which starred Meg Ryan and Billy Crystal?
Etaoin, 5 seconds. Etaoin.
French Kiss.
Now, this is a very popular Meg Ryan and Billy Crystal film. Let's move on and look at the hint. And
Harry Met Sally.
Etaoin. Prism.
When Harry Met Sally.
Etaoin, I understand you really wanted the points, but with that, Prism, you have tied the score at 250. Did you actually have the film in mind when you buzzed in
Yeah.
the first time?
Yeah, just pulled a blank. Brain cramp.
And let's move on.
By the way, Eun-young, you look marvelous. That was horrible.
That was Billy
That was
Crystal.
horrible. That was a bad Billy Crystal. Here we go. Question number 5 is about astronomy. China made the world sit up when it put a man in orbit in October of last year. Now, India has issued an invitation to scientists to put their experiments on the Chandrayaan mission. The plan being to send a half-ton craft of an Indian-built rocket towards this, the only natural satellite of Earth.
Prism.
Moon? The moon?
And just to remind you, please share your answers with us after I've called out your team name, after you've buzzed in. Yes? Okay, let's move on to our next question.
All right, question number 6 is about animal. Scientists found the complete fossil of Sinodelphis zaleyi dating back 125 million years in northwest China. It has been identified as the oldest known ancestor of this animal. It is a large leaping marsupial with powerful hindquarters. What is this?
Etaoin.
The kangaroo.
Yes, it is. And once again, the teams are tied at 280 points. Let's move on to question 7.
All right, question number 7 is about company. This company stopped selling 35mm compact cameras that use film in Japan this year. In Japan,
Etaoin.
Kodak.
Prism, it is your chance to answer. He'll finish the question.
In Japan, the number of sales of compact film cameras of the last year was less than 10,000. This company will now focus solely on its digital camera line named Coolpix. What is this?
Prism, 5 seconds. Prism.
Canon.
Let's look for a Japanese company. Let's look at the hint. Etaoin.
Nikon.
And Etaoin, you have the lead. And do you enjoy using digital cameras, or do you still use film?
Film. It's the best thing.
Actually, then do you
Very
like the
traditional.
Polaroid cameras?
No, not the Polaroid.
You
SLR?
actually like to get it developed.
Yeah. Or develop yourself.
You can develop yourselves. That's the best thing.
Yeah.
Ah, so you do that yourself?
Not much, but we want to.
Oh, that's impressive. Or do you use the digital camera?
Yeah, we do. We've made the switch.
Is it easier for you, do you think?
In some ways, yeah, I like playing around with the images after downloading them.
It's always good to edit, right?
Yeah.
Let's move on to question 8.
You didn't ask me about digital cameras.
All
You asked
right.
everybody about me. No. Actually, I too like digital cameras, except the one thing is that when you take the picture, you don't take it at that moment. There's like a delay. You know, so you might want to capture like some spontaneous thing going on, but then after you press it, you already missed the moments. That's the one complaint I have about digital cameras. Anyways, now that you asked me, I can move on. All right, here we go. Question number 8 is about city. After throwing chopped fish into the sea near this city, a tour operator has been closed down amid accusations that he endangered bathers by attracting sharks to waters off a popular South African beach. This city is the legislative capital of
Prism.
Cape Town?
The score is once again tied, and I'm sure the operator did not mean to attract sharks, but And we move on to question 9.
Question number 9 is about religion. Recently, at least 5 people have been killed by a bomb blast in Bakuba in central Iraq. There were scenes of confusion as worshippers flooded out of this place and people wandered dazed.
Prism.
Mosque?
Yes. Muslim worship. Prism, you're in the lead, and move on to question 10.
All right, question 10 is about country. According to Eurostat, the statistical service, Europe's wealthiest country is this, with GDP at 189% of the EU average. Ireland ranks second, followed by Denmark. With Belgium and the Netherlands...
Etaoin.
Switzerland?
Prism, it is your chance to answer, and he'll finish the question.
With Belgium and the Netherlands, this forms a low or Benelux countries. What is this?
Prism, 5 seconds. Prism?
Luxembourg.
And let's move on to question number 14 now.
Question number...
No, 11, sorry.
Wow, all right. Question number 11 is about politics. Fighting has continued in northern Nigeria involving a radical Islamic movement that calls itself this. This is a strict Islamic group that took over the government of Afghanistan in 1996.
Etaoin?
The Taliban?
And Etaoin, you're catching up once again, and let's move on to question 12.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Question 12 is about music. Why opera is hard to understand in any language? A new study has found it's not the audience's hearing that's the problem, but the way the singers of this part amplify their voices to be heard above the boom of the orchestra. This is the highest register of the singing voice. What is this?
Prism.
Soprano? Alto soprano?
And do you have a favorite soprano?
No, not really.
Not really big into opera then?
We do occasionally. We have a few CDs at home, but yeah.
Do you have a favorite opera singer?
No, I don't. You didn't have to ask me on that one. The only soprano I know is the cable TV show in the States.
Let's move on to the next question.
All right, question 13 is about economy. Vietnam Central Bank has given the go-ahead for the country to import this. The diving dollar pushed prices of this to a 15-year high on world markets, hurting business and savers in Vietnam. This is used as hard currency for big business deals in Vietnam, which has a thriving black market for the metal.
Prism.
Gold?
And we've reached question number 14.
All right, question number 14 is disease. Successful tests in mice could herald a vaccine treatment for people with a form of this disease. Half the mice treated with an experimental jab did not suffer relapses of the disease. This is a name for various cancers which affect the white cells of the blood. What is this?
Etaoin.
Leukemia?
Good news for treatment. And we've reached our last question of the section.
All right, our last question, number 15, is about sport. Synonymous with tennis as strawberries and cream, rain delays on center court.
Prism.
Wimbledon?
And with that, we know who's going to go on to the finals. It's the Prism team. Congratulations. Etaoin, I know you have a lot of supporters. What do you want to say to them?
Well, it was fun.
Yeah. We had a nice time. We had a nice time in Korea, and yeah, participating in Contenders is just icing on the cake.
Well, thank you very much for joining us. And now, Prism team, you will be going against another couple, the Garu team, in our final round. Do you have any strategies to go against them?
Not really. They look pretty formidable, so we're just going to try our best and have fun.
All right, we'll be right back after this. Final stage. Let's welcome back the Garu team. It's good to see you guys again, Peter and Erin Garnhum. This is your attempt at win number 4 in a row, and so you were saying that you're getting more nervous as we go?
She is. I'm kind of getting into a groove, I guess.
Oh, which is good.
That's a good
Hopefully
balance.
we balance each other out. Yeah.
And so where are your aims now?
One win at a time. One win at a time.
And Prism, are you going to give them a challenge?
Oh, we'll do our best.
All right, good luck to you. And in our final section, we give you 5 categories of questions, 5 questions each. They are ranked in difficulty 10 to 50 points. And what are today's categories?
Today's categories are Snow, Bloody Days, Women in Shakespeare, Brain Building, and In the Bank.
And I get to choose our first question usually, and here I go. Why don't we go with Snow for 10 points. Recently, as the first big snowfall greeted Toronto, Canada, Canadian schools encouraged students to engage in kinder, gentler activities such as building snow forts or riding sleds. This is almost a rite of passage for students, but schools are moving. Prism.
Snowball fight?
I don't know what to make of it, to ban snowball fighting. You know, I know that lumps can be pretty hard sometimes because you pat them down, but well, anyway, since you are on the board, Prism, you get to choose our next question. What do you
We'll
want?
continue with Snow with 20 points, please.
Surely, Snow for 20 points. Hans Christian Andersen began writing this story on December 5th, 1844, and it was published 16 days later in book form. Prism.
The Nutcracker?
Garu, it is your chance to answer, and I will finish the question. Gerda and Kay are the best of friends, but Kay's eye and heart are pierced with fragments. Garu.
The Snow Queen.
Yes, it is. So for some geniuses, writing is so easy that they can have a book out in 16 days. Amazing. And Garu, you are in the lead and you get to choose.
Snow for 30, please.
Snow, 30 points. Last November, Snowflake, a star attraction at this zoo for decades, died of cancer. He was thought to be the world's only white gorilla. Snowflake, Copito de Nieve in Spanish, had been at the zoo since being captured by a hunter in Equatorial Guinea in 1966. For 37 years, he became a symbol of the city. This is the second largest city of Spain. And, Garu?
I don't know.
Barcelona?
It's also a major seaport. Have you ever been to Barcelona?
Well, if we go to Europe, we'd be sure to visit.
Don't jinx us. No jinx. No jinx.
And Prism is surely feeling the heat. Yes. And Garu, you get to choose.
Snow for 40.
Snow, 40 points. This word is a modern one of unknown origin. It was first widely used after the Great American Winter Storm in October, now known as the blank of Prism.
Blizzard?
And it's a kind of storm where visibility is seriously reduced. Winds must exceed 56 kilometers per hour. Pretty mighty. And Prism, you have tied the score at 50 points and you get to choose.
We'll close out the category for 50, please.
Snow, 50 points. It is possible to preserve newly fallen snow crystals, creating snow crystal fossils. An effective method uses this. It is especially effective for replicating window pane frost and similar ice structures. The cold spray must be applied lightly, since the solvent in the spray can dissolve the ice if too much liquid is present. This is an artificial fiber made from a special group of vinyl components. What is this? Garu.
Acrylic?
And Garu, you've got the lead and you get to choose.
Okay. Women in Shakespeare for 10.
Women in Shakespeare, 10 points. She is an example of the typical Shakespearean woman. She begins the play as a beautiful, naive young woman, standing. Garu.
Juliet?
And Garu, you get to choose.
Women in Shakespeare for 20.
Women in Shakespeare, 20 points. At one point in this play, the king states that his daughters drive him crazy, but Prism.
Oh, sorry.
Out of time, and Garu, you get to choose. It is your chance to answer, and I will finish.
Oh, sorry.
Garu.
King Lear?
Yes, it is. Did she scare you a bit?
She scared me, but I guess she knew. Yeah,
I had
she
to
knows
read
her
it in high
Shakespeare.
school. So.
Thank goodness for those readings, right?
Yeah,
Forced, but very
Forced.
useful.
Sometimes gonna
And Garu, you get to choose.
Women in Shakespeare for 30.
Women in Shakespeare, 30 points. Shakespeare was a frequent source of inspiration for Victorian painters. John Everett Millieris painted this work between 1851 and 2 in two separate locations. He painted the landscape part of the painting outside by the Hogsmill River and painted the figure of this girl inside in his studio. His image of the tragic death of this woman. Garu?
Ophelia?
Yes. And we saw a play on that in one of our Korean movies. And Garu, you get to choose.
Women in Shakespeare for 40. Let's get going.
Women in Shakespeare, 40 points. Prism, I want to encourage you to buzz in quickly to go against the Garu team. And here we go with our question. In many of his works, Shakespeare gave women little power. This is one such character, the stereotypical approach to women in the the stereotypical approach to women in the Elizabethan time period. But in Goodnight, blank, Anne-Marie MacDonald shows that she believes, Garu.
Goodnight, Desdemona.
Othello's husband. And Garu, you get to choose.
So let's go with 50. Women in Shakespeare for 50.
Closing the category, Women in Shakespeare, 50 points. This play draws on many elements that Shakespeare used in his earlier works and adds a comic twist. He doesn't spend much time on character development other than for Prospero. However, the heroine Miranda is Garu.
Merchant of Venice?
Prism, it is your chance to answer, and I will finish this question. Miranda is his only daughter. She takes her cues from the male character, a puppet, and she lacks the quality and capability of her father. She is guided by him, especially in her love affair. What is the title of the work in which she appears? So the characters. Prism, 5 seconds. Prism?
All's well that ends well.
We're looking for the title of the work in which Miranda and Prospero appear. Garu.
The Tempest.
Yes.
Never read that one.
And Prism, I want to encourage you to buzz in quickly to go against the Garu team. And Garu team, you get to choose.
Okay, Bloody Days for 10 points.
Bloody Days, 10 points.
On February 14th, 1929, disguised as Chicago police officers.
Garu.
The St. Valentine's Day Massacre?
Prism, it is your chance to answer, and he'll finish the question.
Disguised as Chicago police officers and detectives, mobsters take out 6 of Bugs Moran's gang in a warehouse. It became known as the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. Nobody ever thought that it would be an event that would be notorious for many decades to come. The police could hardly arrest this person because of a lack of evidence. He is the Italian-American gangster of the Prohibition era. Who is this?
Prism.
Al Capone?
Yes. And Prism, you get to choose.
We'll continue. Bloody Days for 20.
Bloody Days, 20 points.
The heart of the son of French King Louis XVI is to be laid to rest in the family crypt after 200 years of controversy. Legend and myth surround the death of the 10-year-old Louis XVII in 1795 after his parents met the guillotine's blade. In 1792, the monarchy was overthrown and then the execution of the king. Sentenced to death for treason, his mother was guillotined in Paris on October 16, 1793. Who is this?
Prism.
Marie Antoinette?
And Prism, you get to choose.
We'll stay with Bloody Days for 30.
Bloody Days, 30 points.
Mary I's goal was the re-establishment of Catholicism in England. Persecution came more from a desire for purity in faith than from vengeance. Yet the fact remains that nearly 300 people were burned at the stake for heresy, earning Mary the nickname Bloody Mary. This is a member or adherent of any denomination of the Western Christian Church that rejects papal authority.
Garu.
Protestant?
And Garu, your choice.
Okay, I guess Bloody Days for 40.
Bloody Days, 40 points.
The date is July 16, 1918. The place is the basement of the house of the Ural town of Ekaterinburg, Russia. Tsar Nicholas II, the last emperor of Russia, and his entire family, including the family doctor, cook, parlor maid, valet, and dog, were shot and bayoneted to death. Ooh. Their bodies were thrown into a pit. This is the dynasty that ruled Russia for 3 centuries.
Garu.
The Romanovs.
And Garu, you get to choose.
Bloody Days, 50 points.
Closing the category, Bloody Days, 50 points.
Go back to the great temple of Tenochtitlan in what is now Mexico in 1487. On either side of the huge pyramidal temple are 2 lines of men. A total of 20,000 hearts were taken and burned in a sacrifice to the war god, the largest sacrifice ever recorded. This is a member of a native Middle American people whose powerful empire dominated.
Prism.
The Aztec?
And it kind of makes you wonder, what did they do with the bodies? You know, they sacrificed the hearts, but then, anyway.
Okay, anyway, sure.
Yes, moving on. What would you like to have next?
In the Bank for 10.
In the Bank, 10 points.
Hello, my name is Moon Jung-hwan of Citibank Seoul branch. Do you only go to the bank to withdraw or save money? There is a lot of useful information at the bank if you are interested in investing your money in a wise way. Perhaps this category will be easier for people who have had a lot of interest in money. Banks have made their services increasingly convenient through electronic banking. Recently, more services through the internet or the phone have been made possible. Also, you can take care of easy errands through this, even when you are at the bank. This is an electronic machine that...
Garu.
An ATM?
The automated teller machine. We would have also taken cash point. And Garu, you get to choose.
In the Bank for 20.
In the Bank, 20 points.
Last month, China said it would bail out the country's 2 biggest banks by using 45 billion in foreign exchange reserves. This organization welcomed China's effort.
Prism.
The International Monetary Fund?
And Korea received help from the IMF in 1997. Of course, we have since recovered. And Prism, it's good to see you on the board, and you get to choose.
Keep going. In the bank for 30 points, please.
In the bank, 30 points.
In Korea, this system is to be initiated in March. This is a system of paying back the original debt every month, little by little, monthly, over a maximum period of 20 years. And its interest...
Garu.
And a mortgage.
And hopefully it'll increase the number of people who own their own homes in Korea. And Garu, you to choose.
Okay. In the bank for 40.
In the bank, 40 points.
This existed by 600 BC and was considerably developed by the Greeks, Romans, and Byzantines. Many banks have some form of this. Larger banks and some brokerage firms have a service unit that provides this for global
Garu.
Is it credit?
Prism, it is your chance to answer. He'll finish the question.
and have security asset, minimums ranging from 500,000 to 5 million US dollars. This is a service unit that provides security safekeeping, investment advice, and lending to their wealthiest customers. What is this?
Prism, 5 seconds. Prism?
Say a preferred customer service.
For premium customers, not public, but 5 seconds. Prism.
Private banking.
And Prism, it's good to see you on the board, and you get to choose.
Okay, we'll finish off in the bank for 50, please.
Right? Finishing off in the bank, 50 points.
ING Group and Kookmin Bank are set to build on their strategic alliance following the publication of the new Korea regulations. In Korea, banks were allowed to sell insurance policies, a system called this.
Prism.
Bank assurance.
Yes. French compound word, bank and assurance. And Prism, you get to choose.
I guess we'll try some brain building for 10.
Brain building, 10 points.
Okay, let's build our brains. Here we go. Although the origin of this can be traced to the 19th century children's books, journalist Arthur Wynne is credited with creating the first modern form of this in 1913. It was presented in the New York World on December 21st, 1913, and soon became a regular feature. More and more newspapers.
Garu.
Crossword?
And do you do crosswords?
Actually, not very usually. I'll give them to my students, but myself, I'm not all that interested in them.
Are you into crosswords as well?
Yeah, occasionally. I enjoy them.
Do you do them in pen or pencil?
Sometimes in pen, but they're usually very messy.
I always admire the people who can do the New York Times crossword with a pen.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
And they just go straight through it. Amazing. And let's move on. What would you like to have next?
Brain building for 20.
Brain building, we have one category left, 20 points.
Here we go. In chess, each player's goal is to attack the enemy king such that the king cannot deflect or remove the attack and cannot escape. When a king is attacked, it is
Prism.
Checkmate.
And it comes from the ancient Persian phrase, Shamat, meaning the king is helpless. Never knew that while playing that game. And are you a chess player?
Yeah, actually we play together sometimes.
So that came in handy today. What do you want to have next?
I guess we'll continue with 30, please.
All right. Brain building, 30 points.
Go is a board game played with black and white stones on a surface marked with 19 lines intersecting each other to create 367 crossing points. The object of the game is to capture the larger part of the board and the opponent's stones. In this movie, John Nash's mutterings after he loses the game.
Garu.
A Beautiful Mind.
And that last question, it was all a matter of timing, the buzzing. And we have 2 left. What do you want?
Okay, 40 points.
All right. Brain building, 40 points.
All right, listen carefully. A magic square is a square containing rows and columns of numbers arranged in such a way that each horizontal, vertical, and diagonal line has the same sum. It is of Chinese origin, being first mentioned in a manuscript around 2200 BC. There are 3 lines and each line has 3 cells, each cell filled with Chinese characters equivalent to 1 through 9. So, what is the value of the sum, which is the same in all directions?
Okay, sorry. I'm looking at your expressions. We're looking at a game. So the numbers are 1 through 9, and whichever way you look at it, straight across, you have the same sum. That value is what we're looking for, and that value is between 10 and 20. You each get 2 chances to answer. Look at the numbers 1 through 9, and so imagine in your head 3 lines, and each line has 3 cells. Prism.
15?
Yes, it is. Did you work that out in your head? Are you familiar with the game?
It was a little bit of guessing, a little bit of working. Yeah.
Well, that was a good job. And we have just 1 question left on the board, brain building, 50 points.
This was founded in England in 1946 by Roland Barrow and Dr. Lancelot Ware. The aims are to create a society that is non-political.
Garu.
Is it Mensa?
And with that answer, you have won yet again. Congratulations.
Various prizes are awaiting our winning contenders. Your first win will take you on a trip to Jeju Island. Your second win to Japan. Your third win will take you to China. And on your fourth win, you'll win a trip to Southeast Asia. On your fifth win, a trip to Hawaii. Your sixth win, a trip to the United States. And on your seventh win, you'll take the grand prize of a tour of Europe. We hope many of you join us.
And Prism, you did a fine job. You presented quite a challenge to the Garu team. I know your supporters are a bit disappointed, though. What do you want to say?
Well, we want to say hi to all our colleagues and friends and students at Andong National University. And
I would like to say hi to my family and friends in Seoul. And we really enjoyed being here. Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us today. And Garu, you won 4 in a row. Okay. How do you feel?
A little more than a little relieved now. That was really close.
I still feel really nervous. So.
Are you members of Mensa, by the way?
No.
Oh, definitely not.
No. It's the math questions that always get me.
Yeah.
You did a fine job today. Congratulations again on your 4th win. Thank you. And Garu is a winner yet again with 4 under the belt. Let's see what happens next week. Join us again then. Bye-bye.